What's going on, guys? This is a new video about how I turned over, not made, turned over $1 million US with my Shopify store. There is a difference there. If you see a screenshot with a big number on it, let's say if we go to Facebook and you see one like this kind of thing gets posted all the time, 83k in a month. It's a nice number for sure, but that is turnover, okay? So this guy here, he didn't make 83k, he doesn't get 83k in his pocket, and nor do I get $1 million US in mine either. And that's the purpose of this video. We're gonna work through the numbers a bit and I'll explain some stuff to you. So just to get back to my store, you can see any haters who might think this isn't real. Currently taken in August. Today is September the 1st, and last month I did nearly 55k, 54.5k. So this is the live store. It's early in the day right now, so numbers have only just started to come in. But to get the million, I'm going to go back because it took me quite a while to earn the million. So we need to go back in stats to April the 4th, 2016, which is when I started this store. Just to show you, if we go back to March 2016, you can see I had a little bit of traffic. I believe this is when I was just fixing up the store. And then if we go into April, you can see numbers start. I made the first bit of money here, April 4th, 2016. So if we take it from this date and we go all the way up to, I believe it was August the 27th when I hit the million. So let's go up to there, August 27th, 2020. Oops, right, August 27th, all channels. And there it is, $1,073.82. So we can see a few things from this number here. Number one, it took me a while. It took me 4 years, 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days to be exact. That was how long it took me to reach $1 million in turnover. You can also see here, I bet you're asking what the hell happened here when numbers really crashed and went to nothing. Well, without wanting to get into it too much, I was ill for a year and a half here. This was 18 months of just earning a little bit of money, hardly anything really. The million ought to have happened a lot earlier. It should have happened, well, about a year earlier than it actually happened. But as you can see here at the end, I got well again. Hopefully I'll not get ill again. And things began to rise up again. So there's your million screenshot. One store, 1 million US. But as a lot of you might be asking, and as I ask myself every time I see a screenshot like this, how much of that is actually yours? How much of it is profit? What did you put in your pocket? Because there's a lot of costs involved with running a store, especially if you're using Facebook ads or any ads. You're going to have to put a lot of money into them. I will point out as well that a lot of this income came from emailing. Unlike a lot of marketers who do Shopify and just push it with Facebook ads, I do a lot of emailing. I build a lot of lists based around my store and I email them every day. I have a lot of lists and I email 7 days a week. So probably at a rough guess, I'd say maybe 15 to 18% of this million all came through emailing. So no ad costs. I just made that through emailing. The rest came through a few big winners, which you can kind of see here, and then this one here, and then obviously another right at the end that I'm currently scaling. And to anyone who's thinking of starting a store and imagining, yeah, I'll make $1 million easy, it's not that easy. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot of costs involved with having a store. that you might not realise. I mean, you've got ads, obviously, always. You have to pay for ads. You also have to pay for the goods that anyone orders off of you. So if you're selling necklaces, for instance, I've made a lot of money off necklaces over the years. When a person orders a necklace off you, you have to then buy that necklace from AliExpress or wherever you may be buying it. So you incur that cost as well. You also have to pay your staff if you have them, pay your VAs. You're also liable for credit card processor fees, PayPal fees, and things like if you get refunds, returns, which you can see here. I've got, over the years, I've got nearly 9k in refunds, returns. I have to eat that. That only ever comes out of my pocket. So that's on you as well, handling the refunds. You also have to pay Shopify a cut of everything you earn. They take a percentage. I do emailing, as I've already mentioned, and that costs money every month as well. The more leads you have in your autoresponder, the more expensive it is. You have to pay for apps. I'm going to go through which apps I use in another video later on, but a lot of apps you have to pay extra to have those every month inside Shopify. You have to pay for any domains you may have, and then if you use other services, I use two I can think of right off the bat are ClickFunnels and Zapier. So I have to pay for those every month as well. So it's not as easy as you might imagine. You'll have to pay for stuff a lot of the time. So all this eats into your bottom line. So, how much did I actually earn out of this million over nearly 4.5 years? I'd say probably 30%. So 300 and odd thousand US of this million went into my pocket. I haven't got exact numbers because I've lost a few Facebook ad accounts along the way. I do have spreadsheets that I make every month. My VA makes them every month, and I could go back and add them all up, but right now I can't be bothered. I'm just happy I hit the million. It's been a long time, and I'm happy about it. So what I thought might help would be if we went back over the stats a year at a time. Let's do that. Let's go over year one, which is April 4th, 2016 to April 4th, 2017. Okay, so I've made some notes. I'm just going to look at these. So year one, 286,321.51. Not a bad start, although I will point out this wasn't my first store. I had another two previous to this one. Store one I started in 2014 when drop shipping was quite new at that point. It was a lot easier to make money. There were a lot less people doing it, so ads were a lot cheaper. They were a lot more profitable. It was quite easy to start making quite a lot of money straight off the bat with that first store. I think me and my mate, we made about 400k out of it, but because we were new and we didn't really know what we were doing, we had trademarked items on that store, so it got closed down. We got a few cease and desist letters, and they went after us. They went after the domain, they went after our Shopify account, they got our PayPal account closed. So all this was learning lessons, and if any of you are thinking of doing trademark anything, Marvel, Harley Davidson, Nike, anything like that, it's a bad idea. They're going to come after you at some point. You might make some money off of it for a bit, but at some point they will hammer you and you'll lose everything. So just be mindful of that. I had that store, that got closed down. We opened another. That didn't do that well, but by that point I'd kind of already discovered a profitable niche from store one, and I wanted to move on and make this store that I'm on right now, which is a niche store. I'm not going to tell you the niche, but it's a good niche, and that's what the store is in mainly. So I wanted to get on and make this, which I did, and this is year one. 286k here, and again I'll point out that right from the start of this store, we were advertising a few products You can see we hit one, I wouldn't exactly call it a winner, not really. Turned over just over 40k. I think, let me just referring to my notes. Yeah, 40k, and then there were some others that aren't here because you only get the top 3 products listed here. So we had a few items that one did 24k, another did 16k, and then there was a load of other smaller items, excuse me. And we did a lot of work with emailing on year 1. We put pop-up box on the main store, so offering a discount, and we built a list that way. That's quite easy to do. And then we also did some lead campaigns as well. I will make another YouTube about how we do those in the future as well. But we ran a few lead campaigns, we started to build a few lists, and then we would email the lists every week. Or what I did was actually stagger when the emails went out. So we quickly built up to emailing 3 days a week, then 4, then 5. And I think by about Christmas, the lists were large enough so we could be emailing every day. Not to every list, but emails were automated and they were being sent out to leads every single day with information about new products. We would also offer them money off, discounts, special offers, all that kind of thing. So a good proportion of this money that year 1 is from emailing, and that kind of has set the tone, if you like, for the whole life of this store. It's a really good way to make money, and it works out cheaper than ads. But the main point is you control the traffic. It's yours. You don't have to pay for it, and you can just email. Right, let's get off that. Last point on year 1 is 286k, rounded down. Over 12 months, it's about 23.8k a month. Nothing amazing, but it's not bad for year 1. Okay, year 2, let's go. Let's just take the 4th. April 4th, 2017. April 4th, 2018. Again, from my notes, we got a little bit of a hit compared to the year before, but you can see things were beginning to pick up towards the end of it, and you'll understand why when you see the screenshot for year 3. But the winner from year 1 that made us 40k the year before, we did another 52k out of it in year 2. And then another winner, I discovered a necklace. I was on about necklaces earlier. I did 28k off that as well. Clothing had begun to do well on the store, and then many other items we continue to push for our email lists and some other Facebook campaigns. This year as well, year 2, the guy I started this store with, we went our separate ways. I took over the store on my own from this point. Not a lot else to say about that really, apart from 260k over 12 months. That works out to about 21.6k a month. Moving on to year 3, April 4th, 2018 to April 4th, 2019. And we get a rise here, as you can see, to 339, rounded up 340k, so 80k more than year 2, which is a nice increase. Year 3, in I think it was August sometime, I moved into some office space, and that did wonders for my productivity. I started working harder than ever. I was on my own now, running the shop. I employed some new people and began to push things a lot more. Come September, as you can see here, this big rise, I hit what I class as my first huge winner. This was a product that went on to do over 174,000 all on its own, but this first began to hit big here. I will point out as well that it was not related to the niche of the store at all. And just because you have a niche store does not mean you can't push other products on it as well. This was a product in the fitness niche that I was just looking around one day. I saw an ad for it on Facebook that had a lot of engagement and thought, oh, that looks like it could earn some money. Wasn't what I usually push at all. It wasn't in my niche, but I found a video of a product that looked like the one that I added to the store. I ripped that off, re-edited it, uploaded an ad. The whole thing took me less than an hour, and it began instantly making money right from the beginning. That product did 160 odd thousand this year. You can see here there was a drop. This was when the first video ad that I'd put up, which was a YouTube rip-off, that got banned, so I had to make another. And again, I will say, along with trademarked items, it is not advisable to rip off other people's videos, because at some point they will come after you, and yeah, which is what happened here. So I made some new videos. I actually ordered the product myself to my house and shot a load of ads using the product in a gym, and you see it began to do really well leading up to Christmas, New Year, and there was that. We had the emailing as usual, and there were also a few other winners happening, smaller winners, things being pushed for email. All in all, added up to a good year, so 340k. It was in year 3, right, in fact it was right there. February 1st 2019 was when I got ill, and that's, if you go back to the million screenshot, this is the start of when I got ill. I got ill, and then I got post-viral chronic fatigue, which I'm not going to go into it anymore, but I was ill for about a year and a half, in bed for a year. So as you can see from the next year, year 4, April 4th 2019 to April 4th 2020, you can see a disastrous drop in numbers. I was ill, I was whacked out in bed, I could not work at all, I could barely walk to the bathroom actually for a lot of this year. So I was completely whacked out in bed, and I had to sit hating life and watch my entire store hit the toilet. It's a horror show up in here, you know, these numbers are bad. My best month in year 3 netted me over 60k, so you can see earning about 2/3 of that in 12 months. It was a bit of a smack in the mouth, I tell you that much. I was just lying in bed, stressing, everything was awful, no lists were building. I had to pull all my ads because I was too ill to look after them. I was way too ill to make new ads. I was just way too ill to do anything, basically. I did have my VA, as usual, building emails, so this entire amount here, this entire 12 months of numbers is all from emailing. And while it may not be as much as the years when I was running ads previous to this, you can see that if you do email right, you know, and bear in mind my lists were only a certain size here as well. If I'd have had larger lists, I would have made more money, but 38,000 in 1 year from like pure email. Okay, this was no ad campaigns, nothing. It was email only. In that respect, it's pretty decent, but compared to the previous 3 years, you can see that it's not good. And lastly, 38k over 12 months works out about 3.1k a month, which, you know, is not a lot. So staggering on into year 5, and that is April 4th 2020 to current day, which is September the 1st. And as you can see, I've already made way more than last year. I've got a new winning product here, but as you can see, I was still unable to work until pretty much the start of July. So again, let's just go April the 4th 2020 to the end of June, and you can see here still some hits coming in from email, some bits and bobs here and there, but what's that, April, May, June, so that's 3 months there. I mean, this is even lower. This is You know, this is my traffic starting to dry up and the effects of not adding new leads to my lists. This was a bad thing. Always in the past I've been running campaigns to build my lists, and I haven't ran any ads basically this whole time. So I got ill here, and if we go, oh no I didn't, when was that? February 2019 is when I got ill. Here, and if we go to the end of June 2020, yeah, you can see this money here was my campaigns from the previous winner still running and working when I was ill at first for about, when's this, April? Yeah, they went on for about 2 months, and over time they ran out of steam, as they tend to, and you have to cut them off and make new ones. I was too ill to do any of that, so there was income here, and then it just goes plonk and just drops here. So all of this is email. And then if we go to July, the start of July was when I felt well again and started to run campaigns on a winner. It was actually a good mate of mine handed me this winner, and it's done practically 80k. It will clear 80k for sure by the, well, in probably in about the next hour. And this is 2 months old. I started here. This was a mate of mine, and he said, look, have this winner, and he gave me everything. He gave me the artwork, the demographics that I needed to run it. He gave me the encouragement to get back into the game after being ill for such a long time, and I launched, and it just began to work immediately. So I'm currently scaling that, and that's not bad, 80k over 2 months, and it's not slowing down. So I think I can probably maybe get 150 out of it, maybe 200 at a push, but we'll just see how long it continues to work for. And that's about it. We see a full breakdown of from start to end, which is April 4th 2016 to September the 1st 2020. There we are. So currently sat at 1,008,264.35. So that's it. That's the end of the video. I hope it's helped some people out there who might be watching this. Just lastly, I will say, try not to get too impressed when you see these huge screenshots posted all over the place. Everyone loves to post them. I mean, okay, I'm doing it as well, aren't I? But I'm trying to point out that it's not always easy. I didn't make this million in a month or even in a year. It took me nearly 4.5 years to make this, and not all of it is mine. I would say roughly 30% of it is mine. So just bear that in mind, and I hope it helps some of you. I also made a blog post about this that I'll link underneath. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to subscribe, please do that as well. And I'll be releasing more videos very soon.